Well, thank you for coming back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you. I am La Mama, and this is Face by La Mama, where I
fucking beat my face, I slay it, I beat it to the gods. Take a moment and soak that in, because this face is beat.
This tutorial will be on the face aspect of this makeup. I'm not including the eyes and lips because that will be the video after this one. Just stay tuned for that. And I tried to keep this face really affordable because this is my flawless, full coverage, slayage, beat foundation, everything, the entire everything. But I did try to keep it affordable and try to utilize more drugstore products than higher end products, just so that it's easier for you to go out and purchase the products or use the products that you already have. Go ahead and whatever products you already have, use them. Don't think that you have to use the products I'm using because that's something
that I chose. I'm not you, you are me. So there's that.
But definitely, please stay tuned to this tutorial, this flawless, full coverage and beat face, and it will last forever in my world. It's waterproof, it's sweat proof, it's oil proof, and especially if you have to keep your makeup on for, you know, more than 8 hours or 12 hours or however long, it will definitely stay there and last forever. And because I'm oily skinned, my oils won't come through because, you know, just of the technique and the primers and all the products that I did go ahead and use. But if you want to see this tutorial of this beautiful face, please stay tuned and keep watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, so I'm gonna start off with a fresh, clean face, and I have just some chapstick on, and I tied my hair up so I don't get any of this slayage in my face. I'm starting off with the NiveaMen Post Shave Balm, and I'm going to concentrate this in my T-zone and all the places where I get oily. Now this is a great primer, and I love using it as a base because the glycerin is just going to grab onto the rest of my products, and it won't allow those products to soak into my skin, kind of like a first barrier level. And now that I'm going to go in, after this has become tacky, going to go on with my Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser. I'm just going to take some of this and kind of warm it up with my fingertips and put it in the places where my pores are larger, where I want them smaller, which include my cheeks and my forehead. And then I'm just going to pat this in and not so much blend it out because I want the products to still be there. Then from here, I'm going to take Milk of Magnesia, which is one of the best tips that I've ever heard, is that Milk of Magnesia is a great primer, especially for oily skin. It keeps the oils at bay and just gives that heavy protective layer of Milk of Magnesia on your skin that will not only combat the oils, but that if you have dry areas, it will keep those areas, you know, underneath all your foundation, just so they don't show through. And I'm just going to take this in the areas where I have the most problem, which is my T-zone and a little on my cheeks, and also on my beard areas, just because I want those areas to be more flat. Then I'm just going to let this dry. And then now this is dry, you can tell because it is all white. I'm going to take this brush, I got it from Dollar Tree, just any cheap brush or any brush you have, and just blend away this just so I don't get the white flaky parts mixed in with the products I'm going to use next. Now from here, I'm going to take my Maybelline Master Fix setting spray, and I'm going to just spray my face just to set this layer of my face already. Now I'm going to go on with my Ruby Kisses concealer, and this concealer is my exact skin tone. I'm going to use this to cover the darkness on my face. Now the reason I want this concealer my exact skin tone is so that it not only evens out my skin a little bit more, but if the concealer was lighter, it would bring those areas up when I put foundation on, versus if they're my skin tone or even darker is better, it will push those back, so that when I put foundation on, I have a more even base. I don't like to put, you know, color correcting colors on my face because I don't see the purpose of them. But if you do color correct, this is just another form of color correcting without colors, if that makes any sense. And then I'm going to just blend this in with my Real Techniques beauty sponge that is damp, just so I get a more even and flat finish. And this is what it should look like so far, pretty much blemish free. I'm going to take my Maybelline Master Fix setting spray again and just set my face. Now from here I'm going to go in with my foundations, and I'm using the Revlon Colorstay foundation. I'm also using the L'Oreal TrueMatch. Now I'm using two different foundations because I am mixing the Colorstay, which is a great last longing foundation that's going to last amazing and that is great for oily skin. I'm mixing it with the TrueMatch because the TrueMatch is darker and the Revlon doesn't necessarily match me 100%. So I'm just using these two just to match me. And the Revlon is in shade Mocha, and the Color Match is in shade C10. And I'm going to put this in the areas where I have the most problem or where I want the most coverage first. I'm going to let that soak a little, and then I'm going to go in and spray my face with some more setting spray just to keep that layer also set. And then I'm also going to put this down my neck so you know I don't have a harsh line. I'm just going to blend it out with a stippling brush. Now the main reason why I keep using setting spray is because setting spray is going to thin out the product with keeping the coverage there, and it's going to make my face feel less heavy because the setting spray will, you know, thin it out and make it more sheer but still keep the coverage there like I've already said. And the setting spray is also going to set that layer of makeup, so that way each layer is already set, so I don't have to worry about, you know, my layers slipping and sliding throughout the day, and so my makeup lasts longer in essence. I'm just going to take that same Real Techniques blending sponge that is damp and just blend this over my face just to catch the excess oils and to give a more airbrush finish. Then from here I'm going to go ahead and highlight my face, and I'm going to use a concealer that is 2 or 3 shades lighter than my skin tone, so for you it'd be a couple shades lighter than your foundation. And I like a light highlight because it blends with my face and body more. So I'm just going to take the concealer, and when you go ahead and highlight, you're going to determine whether you want to slim your face out, which is the reason I'm pulling it back to my temples, or whether I want to keep my face structure, and that would just keep it under the eyes. I'm also going to put this on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and on my chin, just to play on the natural light of my face and create some artificial light. And then I'm going to put this underneath my cheekbones just so when I go ahead and blend it out, my cheekbones are already prominent. And I'm going to pat this in instead of swiping it, especially under my eyes, because I don't want the product to mix in with my foundation. I want the product to blend in with my foundation. So I'm just going to go in with the Real Techniques blending sponge again. And after I've pretty much set the product, I'm going to blend it out with the sponge just so it blends with my foundation more. And now the entire key to highlighting and contouring is just blending, blending, blending. And the highlight's just gonna, like I said, play on that artificial light, or play on the natural light of your face, give you some more artificial light, and sometimes alter your face shape. I'm just gonna go back and forth between the brush and the sponge, just blend it out completely. Now from here I'm going to take my black Opal Deluxe finishing powder in the shade medium, and I'm going to use this to set and bake my concealer. So the reason you want to set your concealer is because concealer can tend to crease throughout the day, and especially if you're oily or dry, it can cling to your dry patches or slip and slide with the oil. So I'm going to set it so that the powder stays there, so that my concealer stays there, and I'm going to bake it so that it stays that much longer. And now the same color scheme that you're working with your highlighted areas, kind of the same color scheme you want to work with your powders. You know, you could also use translucent, but translucent on you washes me out, so that's why I'm using a colored powder. I'm going to put this in all the areas where I did already put that highlighting concealer. And now to further bake my entire face, I'm going to use my Coty Airspun Extra Coverage Translucent Powder. I'm going to concentrate this in my T-zone first, specifically my nose, because that is where my oils are the worst at. And then I'm going to just take a light layer of this powder on the rest of my face to set the foundation and the concealer and everything on my face, just so I have that extra protective barrier, and it's going to keep my makeup lasting longer, and it's also going to be transfer proof. And now I'm going to go ahead and move on to some eyebrows and some eyeshadow, and I'll be back. Hi, I'm back with my eyeshadow done, and I'm just going to go in and take a big fluffy brush and blend away the Coty Airspun that is still on my face, which has cooked and absorbed into the layers and the oils of my face. I'm just going to take this and blend this out, switching between the big fluffy brush and this small stippling brush just so I can get in those small areas. And I'm not going to just swipe this away, I'm going to swipe and blend, if that makes any sense. Then I'm going to go on my L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible foundation powder in the shade Cocoa, and on the same big fluffy brush, kind of add this foundation, or add this color to the perimeter of my face, just so it can blend in between the highlight and the rest of my face. And I'm going to make sure I take this down my neck just so my face matches my neck, which also matches my body. Then from here I'm going to take my Maybelline FITMe powder in the shade 355, and I'm using this small stippling brush, and I'm just going to put this in my highlighted areas just because this powder does have some light reflective particles in it, and it's just going to bring forward my highlight areas more. I'm using the powder just to further highlight. And then I'm going to take some more of my setting spray and set this layer just so I don't have that powdery finish, and also just so it feels more skin-like. Then I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose, and the powder I'm using is actually an eyeshadow from CoverGirl in brown Smolder, but it's a great powder to contour my nose because it's not too dark for my nose. I'm going to use this, and when you contour your nose, you're going to follow the bridge of your nose and also bring this up into the beginning parts of your eyebrow just to accentuate that nose line if you have one. In my case, I don't really have one. I have a wide flat nose, so I'm creating that shadow with the contouring. That's really all contouring is creating a shadow. And after I place it there and blend it out slightly, I'm going to take another brush and blend it more because I'm extra, and blending is the key to success in makeup. Now I'm going to take my Black Radiance pressed powder in the shade Ebony and go ahead and contour my face. Now, tip when contouring your face is you're going to follow from the top of your ear down where you can feel your cheekbone, but not all the way down to your mouth because that's just excessive, but stopping more to where your pupils are on your face. So definitely following that ear line all the way down. You're going to use a shade that's a couple shades darker than you because you want to create that shadow, and it would help if it's more ashy or like cool tone, if that makes sense. And you're just going to apply this to all the areas you want to contour, which would be your cheekbones to bring forth your cheekbones more, your jawline to give you a more structured jawline, and your temples, and also your hairline, just so that they all blend together and your face has that natural shadow. Just make sure when you put this contour on, you definitely go ahead and blend it out. That's why you see me switching between my contour brush and also this big fluffy brush, just so I get a more diffused and skin-like appearance. I'm going to go on my Wet n Wild Color Icon blush, and this is in the shade Mellow Wine, I believe, and I'm going to put this on the apples of my cheeks just to add some color and life back into my face. Now, I do like a more pink red blush because it goes with my skin undertones more, but now if that's not your skin undertones, then you may not look best in that blush. And then I'm going to blend away the Coty Airspun powder I put under my contour just to accentuate my cheekbones more, and then I'm also going to just use a big fluffy brush to diffuse the product. And of course, I'm using some more setting spray, and this time I'm going to heavily set my face. Basically, my face is wet right now, but once it's dry, it's going to secure and lock in all of that makeup on my face. Now from here, I'm using my Wet n Wild Illuminating Face Palette, and I'm going to use this to glow my face. I like to say glow instead of highlight, just because it can be a little confusing with the highlighting concealer and this step. So to glow your face, it's basically adding light back into your face, just so your face has a more dimensional look and more skin-like and more face-like, just so it's not flat. And the places you want to glow is on the high points of your face, so the tops of your cheeks, the tips of your nose, above your eyebrows, the bridge of your nose, and your chin. I like highlighting my chin because I'm extra. But now I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of that blush, just so it softens the highlight and it's not too intense and stark white against my skin. Then after that, I'm going to douse my face in some setting spray again and let that dry. And now this is the completed look with the eyes done and the lips done. Now this look is in a separate video for something separate. But as far as the face goes, I really hope you enjoyed my flawless full face routine and how I get my makeup to last forever. And I just want you to take away the tips that you need and remember that no matter what, you are beautiful. And I will see you next time, and bye.